Growing up, I think when I was in elementary school, middle school, and even high school, just the science classes that I took they were very interesting to me. I drew close to them. I did well in them, so that was also a bonus. I was more attentive in those classes than in any other class. In college, as far as biology and math classes, kind of intertwined, and there's a lot of statistics that go into when we have labs. You measure data. Also, there's some equations that you have to throw in there, so it's there.
My interest in biology has grown through my really appreciation and love for nature and the outdoors, and I think it gives you a really peaceful sense of how the world works when you look through a biological lens. And I also really like knowing about humans, and I think that's a really good study of humanity is through biology.
I think my interest in biology comes from a culmination of a lot of different events. In elementary school, we had a lot of National Geographic type kits, so we were dissecting an owl pellet, and that was really fascinating to me.
From a very young age, I grew up in a very rural area, and being exposed to a lot of farm animals and just the ecosystem in general, that really drew me into biology.
So when I was in high school, I took a calculus class and hated it. Just the amount of thinking that went into it as far as jumping from step to step. And I wasn't really understanding the why. It was more so of a robotic sense. I didn't have much room to think, so I really hated that. It was tough for me, tough for a lot of my classmates around me, so that was definitely a pretty bad experience in high school.
It was so much, and it really just became a mental block, and that's something that's really stuck with me, and it has definitely diminished my confidence in math that I used to have, and even kind of the enjoyment now. It doesn't matter what kind of mathematical thing is on the board. I'm apprehensive, it's am I going to be able to handle this?
When I took some years off of school, I didn't want to become rusty, so I would just practice small math problems in my head, and I find myself getting better at it. Practice makes perfect. And then I realized, in itself, math is a language, and it's a different way to explain the phenomena around us in life, and that's what made me more and more interested in it.
My best experiences with math have come with my professors helping me get through the struggle of certain math courses, I guess you could say. Besides that, just getting the enjoyment of solving a problem after you've worked so hard on it.
For statistics, I took a biostatistics class here about my sophomore year. That's kind of when everything started coming together as far as, okay, math and science are coming together and it's fun. It was things as far as experiments as the questions, which was very applicable to what I wanted to do. So it made sense, and it wasn't well, why am I doing this? I'm not gonna do this for my career. So that's when it started to become more fun, and I started to get more out of it. Started understanding math a little bit more.
My career aspiration is to be an epidemiologist, and I didn't realize how heavily associated math was in that field. There's a lot of modeling, there's a lot of statistics, and it's been really eye-opening to see that they're so together, biology and math. And because that is what I would like to do, there's definitely going to be applications for math in my career.
In my biostats class, we're learning about growth mindsets, and I think that really helps a lot with math because you can kind of hit that wall and just say, okay, I didn't understand it this time, but I can learn and understand deeper once I work through this again and see where my mistake was.
Just getting that reinforcement of motivation, and that there is no real math person, and that everyone has to work to be good at math.
Once you start to get it, you want more of it, so you want to keep understanding it. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The more you want to get better at it, so you start practicing more. The teachers here have been helpful as far as math preparing me for whatever I want to do in the biology field, especially independent research. They've equipped me with just intuition. They've helped me just work through things. They didn't hand everything to me or robotic about it. It was more of a, hey, think about it, come up with something. And that's what kind of grows you in college.
A growth mindset is not beating yourself up after you make a mistake. It's kind of understanding that mistakes happen and that you grow and become better from learning about the reasons you made that mistake, the steps leading up to it, you kind of learn not to do that again.
Nobody's perfect at math. Everybody who is really good at math has had to put a lot of time and effort into it.
I'd say just keep working at it. Just kind of find something that kind of motivates you to do it. Find your way of doing math. There are multiple ways of getting the right answer. There are multiple ways of doing the right thing. I just say just keep working at it, find something that works for you, and don't give up.